I am so sick and tired of seeing people dress so loudly to the airport. The airport, first of all, is a significant place. It's a place that connects you from one location to another. A lot happens between those locations, and you dress like you're just waking up from bed. Bonnets, flimsy slippers. What are we doing? Airports are not the places where you look like you just got up from your bed and you don't know where you're going. Some of you spend $1,000 on those tickets. Let's correct that today, please. Let's talk about looks you can create to the airport. That is without the bonnets and the slippers.
How you like that? You gonna like that?
I personally am going on a trip in some days time. I feel like it's easier to decide on clothes you want to wear on a trip than to actually decide on what to wear to the airport before taking that trip. It sounds crazy, but let me explain. When you are going to the airport, you do not want to look too casual while still not wanting to look too formal in a way that you can even become uncomfortable. And there are some things you have to consider before actually deciding on an outfit for the airport. So you see that a lot of thought process has to go into it. Something good enough, but not too restrictive because you may be on a long flight. Finally, after racking my head the options I have, what to do, I decided on an outfit, and I'm going to show you that outfit. I already have the shirt on. I'm going to wash this night so I can use it again. I have decided to pair it with my pair of denim. So what are these factors that have made me finally decide on this outfit to wear to the airport? Number one, the first thing you have to consider is the temperature in the plane. It's going to be cold, and if you are going to be on an international flight like me, that is many long hours in that cold space. The cabin will never be hot. Even if you're on a local flight, even if it's just 45 minutes, the cabin will never be hot. So always be cool at least. And then staying in that cabin for such a long period of time for international flights, maybe 16 hours, 15 hours, you know you don't want something that will be so slight, so easy for cold to penetrate through. Even though there will be blankets, but you have to keep yourself warm first of all. So the first factor that will help you to decide what to wear to the airport is temperature in flight. It's always cold, and so that's why I won't just be wearing just this shirt. I'll be putting a jacket over it like so. Even though the airport may not be as cold as inside the cabin, inside the plane will be, why don't you just dress in a chic way all the way from the airport before you get into the flight? So you have a coat like this, the material is good. I'll always advise a coat that is fashionable even on its own without you needing to do too much with it. So I have this cotton brown coat that I love so much. I'm putting it over my white shirt, and that is how the top will look. It's so simple. Hair is done, simple accessorizing, and that is it. I'm covered for the cold. When I use my blanket over this in the plane, it's an added warmth to me, so I don't get where I'm going hands freezing, legs freezing. So when we've talked about the cold, now we have the top. What do we do for the bottom? This brings us to our second point. Sometimes the flight can be very long. So the second thing you have to consider is duration of the flight. If the flight will be very long, you need something comfortable. I'm choosing this pair of denims. Some people do not advise that you wear tight denims while traveling. That's why I'm not taking my tight denims. That's why I'm taking these ones that are so free, wide-legged. So this is what the denim looks like. Free is wide-legged. I can bring this out a bit. I don't need to wear a belt with this. Already looking very good. You have to think about your comfort. If it's a tight pair of jeans, I really don't recommend. Free-legged jeans like this, it will help me because, again, for the first point, it's keeping me warm, and then I'm free in it because for someone who has a flight of like 20-something hours, layover and all of that, you can't start wearing something very restrictive. You are sweating between your legs, all of that. It just doesn't make sense. So comfort is another thing you have to think about. What pair of pants do you want to wear? Even if it's a skirt, you want to wear like a free skirt put your little shorts under. It keeps you comfortable, you're warm, but you are free. It's in this point of comfort too, we have to talk about shoes. Some people do wear heels for short flights, like from here to here, local flights. But when you are doing long travel, I think it's preferable you wear something flat. So the fact that we said you wear something flat does not mean you show up in your Crocs or in your slippers. I know, as I've said, Crocs, this is triggering so many people, maybe even my friend Miriam, who likes to wear Crocs. But I'll say it again, it doesn't mean you show up to the airport in your Crocs or in your flip-flops that you wear in the house. That is not what fashion girls do. You can opt for flat things that still add a form of flair to your outfit, that still match the vibe you're going for, the classy looking vibe you are going for. So for shoes, I've narrowed my options down to these two. I have these cortina shoes, or school shoes like I like to call them. I really love them so much. I wore this today. And I have this pair of sneakers that I also love so much. And to be biased, I think I'm going to be going with my pair of sneakers for my airport outfit, because I like this little detailing that is here and here, kind of matches with my coat properly. The color is good. That's why I'm going to be choosing this. I'm going to be putting on a pair of socks that's not too tight, not compression socks, unless it's prescribed by your physician. Maybe you have issues with your legs and your doctor says while traveling on this flight, wear compression socks. If not, socks that would let your legs breathe still while being in the shoes. These are flat. Of course, it shouldn't be too tight, because if it's too tight, that's another problem. You can put them off during the duration of the flight anyway, that's another option, but then your feet may be cold. So flat things that still look good. You can wear sling bags that are not too high, you know, things that you show up at the airport, even though you look business casual, but there's that dignity for yourself and for the place that you are going in your outfits. So when you wear this, there's nobody that will see you and think you don't take yourself seriously. Whilst we're still talking about that, the third thing you should think about is what to do with your hair. Because yes, long flights, they can be a burden on your hair. What to do with your hair. So for example, you may not want to put on a wig because it's a long flight. So many things will happen to that wig. You wake up, even if you're in the first class, your head has been in a certain way, your wig is not the way you left home with it. But no matter what, this is never an option as regards your hair and what to do with it. This can never ever be an option. Not in the airport, especially. Not even in the plane. Yes, I've talked about how traveling for a long time, your hair gets disarranged. So what do you do with your hair? I prefer this. A silk scarf like this. Very cute. You can just tie up your hair. I've done this so many times traveling. Tie up your hair and things like this. So this is the third point. Take along a scarf. Take along maybe pins, rollers. Roll it up, but still in a cute way. Pins to pin them up if that's the kind of hair you have on your head. So even with wearing a wig, when you get into the plane, you can just do this. It's colorful, it's thoughtful, it's classy. It doesn't look like you just woke up from your bed and fell into another place. That's what we're talking about. Just that extra effort, that extra thought. What am I going to do with my hair? Because that is a reality. Traveling on flights doesn't mean you put on this. Where are you going with this? And that brings us to our fourth point. You do not know who you are going to meet on the plane. I know people always say that, and people are like, I beg, all these days I've been traveling, who have I met? You don't know who you are going to meet at the airport. You don't know who you are going to meet in the plane. So what is this? Let's stop, please. Let's stop. Little extra effort can be put in. The silk scarves, let them come out. The beret, cute little scarves. Or tie up your hair. Use the bobby pin, something that keeps it in place. You still look good. By the time you get to where you're going, you fluff out your hair, remove the pins, take off the scarf. You're good again. looking cute in the airport. That is what we want to go for all the time when we are considering what to wear to the airport. To make your choices, in summary, you consider the temperature of the cabin. It's always cold, yes, so you can take along a jacket. Maybe the airport is not as cold. You can take off the jacket you're still wearing. For example, this shirt. You can hang your coat on your hand, putting on maybe simple jeans, simple pants, nice accessories, look good. Second thing you consider, comfort, because you may be on a long flight. So even while looking good, whatever you're choosing to go to the airport with has to be something comfortable. But comfort does not mean you look anyhow, especially when you're going on an international flight. You're going from one place, crossing oceans, and you appear there like, no, what are you doing to your hair? That's number 3 point, because it's a very realistic point. And the last point is, ask yourself, if I'm to meet someone that I've never thought about meeting before, which happens in airports, how would I want to present in front of them? How would I want to look? What's the impression I want to give? It's just that simple, easy thought that helps you to pick your best for the airport. I have picked mine after consideration of these 4 things, and I'm good to go. I hope this video was helpful. I enjoyed making it for you. Remember to like, share, subscribe, leave a comment in the comment section, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye bye.